Have you ever walked into the house after a stressful day, said almost nothing, and your dog still acted like something was different? Maybe it sniffed you longer than usual. Maybe it followed you from room to room. Or maybe it simply sat beside you, as if it knew something you had not said. Most people call this a sixth sense. But the stranger possibility is that your dog may not be reading your mind. It may be reading your body. Because when humans feel stress, fear, or sadness, the body changes in ways we barely notice. And to a dog, some of those changes may have a smell? We often talk about emotions as if they are private things. A feeling happens somewhere inside your head. Your thoughts affect your body, which a dog can sense. A happy thought leads to a calm heart and relaxed posture. When you are stressed, your breathing can change, your heart rate may shift, your muscles may tighten, your skin may produce sweat differently.
He's calm and happy.
Something's different about him now.
I like this you.
Wait, what changed? And this is where the question becomes more interesting. Maybe dogs do not smell fear as a word. Maybe they do not smell sadness as a little cloud floating around you. Maybe they smell the physical fingerprints that emotions leave behind. Breath, sweat, skin, movement, routine. Tiny clues that your body is no longer in its usual state. Humans are mostly visual creatures. When we enter a room, we look around. We notice faces, objects, light, movement. Dogs can see, of course, but their world is deeply shaped by smell. Humans see. Dogs smell. A dog can walk into a park and read a kind of invisible newspaper. Another dog was here. A squirrel crossed this path. Someone dropped food near that bench. To us, the sidewalk is just a sidewalk. To a dog, it may be full of history. So when you come home carrying the scent of stress, your dog is not just seeing your face. It may be smelling where you have been, what you touched, how long you were outside, whether another animal was nearby. And that sounds simple, but it is not, because if dogs can smell emotional changes, we have to be careful about what that really means.
Good boy.
Exactly.
Let's figure it out.
It does not mean your dog understands your full inner life. Your dog probably does not know about the meeting, the argument, but it may know that the person it lives with is not the same as usual. And scientists have begun testing parts of this idea. In one controlled study, researchers collected breath and sweat samples from people before and after. The dogs were not watching people's faces. They were not hearing their voices. They were working with scent, and the dogs were able to discern. That does not mean every dog can perfectly identify your mood. It does not mean Other research has looked at human body odors collected during emotional states like fear or happiness. The odor may carry information, and the dog may respond to that information. But here is the stranger part. The smell of human stress may not only tell a dog something about us, it may change something in the dog. A more recent study tested dogs using odors from unfamiliar people who had been stressed or relaxed. The dogs were trained with food bowls. One location meant food was likely. Another location meant food was not there. Then the researchers placed bowls in uncertain locations between the two. This kind of test is often used to ask whether an animal is behaving more hopefully or more cautiously. When dogs were exposed to human stress odor, they became less likely to approach one of the uncertain bowl locations. In simple terms, the smell of stress seemed to make them more cautious. Is that what's happening? That does not prove dogs absorb our emotions exactly the way humans do, but it suggests that human stress odor can affect how dogs respond to the world around them. And if that is true, then your mood may not just be something your dog observes. It may be part of the emotional weather of the room. If you live with a dog, this may sound familiar. Maybe your dog gets restless when the house is tense. Maybe it watches you more closely before you cry. Maybe it follows you when you are anxious. Maybe it acts strangely before a vet visit, even before the leash appears. Maybe it notices the quiet changes you thought no one could see. But smell is probably not working alone. Dogs are not just noses with legs. Aha! They are also watching your face, listening to your voice, reading your posture, learning your routines, noticing your speed. A relaxed human moves one way. A stressed human moves another. A happy voice has one rhythm. A worried voice has another. A normal evening has familiar patterns. But an emotional evening may break those patterns. You may sit in a different place, speak less, forget playtime, walk more quickly, breathe differently, hold your body tightly. The pattern has changed. Now what does that mean? Morning, are you ready for our walk? Look, there's your food bowl and my coffee. I love our morning routine. We are such a good team. Over time, a dog learns a version of you, not the version you explain in words. So when that version suddenly changes, your dog may notice before you say anything. This is why the phrase, "dogs can smell emotions," is both useful and misleading. Useful because emotions can change the body, and some of those body changes may produce odor cues dogs can detect. Misleading because dogs are probably not smelling clean emotional labels like sadness, fear, guilt, or love. They are sensing a messy biological pattern: sweat, breath, posture, voice, movement, context. Then the dog's brain does what animal brains are built to do. Is this safe? From our side, that can feel deeply emotional. From the dog's side, it may be more practical. But practical does not mean meaningless. A dog does not need to understand your story to respond to your state. It does not need to know the reason you are sad. It does not need to know the word stress to smell that something has changed. And maybe that is the part we often miss. We want animals to understand us in human terms. We want them to know the reason, the memory, the sentence behind the feeling. Not through explanations, through patterns, through scent, through the small signals we leak into the world without meaning to. So, can dogs smell human emotions? Not exactly the way people usually imagine. They probably do not smell sadness or fear as clear human categories. But they can detect. So the better answer is this: dogs may smell the body's emotional fingerprints. And sometimes that is enough. Because to a dog, love may not